Gita Sugita Kartavya Himanyaihi Shastra Vistaraihi. This is a very well-known sentence, well-known in the circle of scholars. The meaning of which is the Gita has to be studied properly. Gita Sugita Kartavya. The Gita has to be assimilated by everyone. Kim Anyehi Shastra Vistaraihi. What one is going to gain by studying all other books. We have a lot of books. Of course, it is a verse of praise. When you praise somebody, you have to put down a few others. The comparison is not inevitable. So it is not really to put down other Shastra, other books, but to give a vision that the Gita has it all. This is what we are planning to unfold in these talks. Distinctly, there are two very important topics. One is the human being has to become human. But the other is such a human has certain human problems which are generally considered legitimate. The psychologists would say, if you are sad, they will say that there's nothing wrong for you to be sad. I will also concur with that person. If you are angry, you are angry. There's nothing wrong about it. If you are depressed, you are depressed. Because you are not responsible for being depressed. That the human being is subject to depression. One may be human in every other aspect. But at the same time, one is subject to depression. And therefore one cannot be criticized that one is depressed. Nobody consciously becomes depressed. No one wills that I should get depressed so that I can get some attention. One gets depressed. So the modern psychology would accept the human problems, the problems of a human being, as natural. And therefore one has to The question, of course, is there a way out? For no human being is going to accept himself, herself as a sad person, as a helpless person. Everyone wants to be free, wants to be on top of oneself. In other words, he wants to be a Swami. That's what a Swami means. Even though the Swami is a title to a sannyasi, a Hindu renunciate, but that person is supposed to be a Swami, or at least is committed to become a Swami. Need not be a Swami, committed to become a Swami. In India, a medical student joining the medical college would write after the name Rajeshwari, MBBS, within brackets, in small letters, first year. So some of us are Swamis like that. We are all first year Swamis, Possible. But the meaning of the word is that I have to be on top of myself as a person. The Gita has so much to give us. These are the two topics. One is to make myself a rich human being. And then go beyond that. If the body is subject to certain limitations that a given body would be subject to, the Gita tells us that you are so free that you can support a limited body, a limited set of senses, a limited mind. That is the freedom. You are so free that you can enjoy having a limited body, a limited mind. So that freedom seems to be something centered on myself as a person, where I have the sense of being, the sense of being myself as a person, a sense that is revealed by the word I, or when you say I am. Then other things we add. Before adding anything, that very sense of being that I am is rooted in freedom. Is but freedom. And then anything you add is only an embellishment. Freedom is already accomplished in that very sense of I. Then you are free enough to support a limited body, support a limited mind. I use the word sporting, like you sport a moustache. You, as long as you can get rid of it, you sport the moustache. If you are stuck with the moustache, you cannot be without useless, then you are not sporting anymore. Anything that I can be without is what I can sport. So this is something, this the trans psychological. And thus the Gita has so much to offer to me. Therefore it is said that since it makes you as a whole person, a complete person, as a human being, then takes you to discover yourself as a person who lives, who requires nothing to be desired. A person is so free and complete, well, that person can have a limited body, mind, and senses. So this twofold topic, or the topic of the Gita. The first one is called Yoga. The second is called Brahma Vidya. At the end of every chapter of the Gita, you will read Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade Yoga Shastre Brahma Vidyayam. It is a Yoga Shastra and it is Brahma Vidya. These days, yoga means you know what. It has come to be understood in a restricted sense. Certain Anga Vishesha, when you sit in a posture, it becomes yoga. Even though that is a part of a discipline called yoga. That is why that yoga is qualified as Ashtanga Yoga, Hatha Yoga. Yoga is a common word. It's a very important word, honestly. And therefore, whole life for a human being has got to be yoga. Yogaschet, if it is yoga, your life, your marriage, your job, your day-to-day chores, whatever that you do, parentage and so on, is yoga. In fact, there is no choice for you to be a yogi. If at all there is a choice between yoga and sannyasa, there is a choice. You can be a karma yogi, as we will be discovering, or you can be a sannyasi. Sannyasi, because you have already gone through karma yoga. You have already accomplished what karma yoga is supposed to confer upon you. Having lived a life of karma yoga, or having accomplished what karma yoga is supposed to confer upon you, you take to sannyasa. Lord Krishna would plead in the Bhagavad Gita again and again to Arjuna, because Arjuna wants to become a sannyasi. And you would tell him, hey, come on, sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptu mayogataha. It is easy for you to become a sannyasi. You can travel in Indian railways without ticket. And the ticket collector also allows you, really. And when he looks at you and then you are a sadhu, you will just pass. So this sannyasa is very simple. Anybody can assume this. You require some little courage, that's all. But the problems that the person has, having not accomplished what Karma Yoga can give, would haunt the person, and therefore neither the person is a sannyasi as the person should be, nor the person is in a position where he can gain what yoga can give. And therefore, ubaya brashtaha bhavati. It becomes in between, hanging like Trishanku, neither in heaven nor on the earth. And he is sitting there, even today I am told, alone in a planet of his own. What kind of life is that? Therefore, what really converts your day-to-day life into yoga, the life of yoga, a life of inner growth, is the topic. I am going to discuss this. Then at the end we will look at what is that Vidya, even though the days that we have are not enough, but we are discussing of a vision. One good thing about the vision is I need not go into the details. Once you have the vision, details you can fill up. To know this is a forest, you don't require the knowledge of botany. But you can enjoy the profundity, the beauty, the immensity of the forest without knowing any of those Latin names, the names of this plant, etc. So there is an advantage of having the vision. In fact, any good teacher would present the vision, would not be interested in details if he is a good teacher and who knows all the details and who can teach all the details and a few more, but would not confuse the person with the details. Give the vision first. Even if the student is committed to a 3-year course with me or 4-year course with me or 12 years, we have material for 12 years, lagatar. Really, we can keep the students on toes for 12 years or more. We have such profound literature. But the teacher will always give the first thing, the vision of the whole thing. Then it's all going into the details. The Gita is a dialogue, understand? A dialogue in Sanskrit is called Vada. Vadam we have heard. Vadam sometimes, the romantic proverbs are called Vada. Same spelling really. That is Vata. Not same feeling. There is Vata. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. It is not Vadam. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. A Takara. This is the Vada. But generally in common parlance, you don't say Vata, you say Vada. I have got Vadam. But the literature, Sanskrit literature, is a highly, it has analyzed, it is a literature with an analyzed language. There is literature analyzing the language. Sanskrit is the most analyzed language in the world, I can say that. And all the people who are of linguistics would accept that also. Those who have studied a few languages, they know. The father of linguistics is Panini, accepted by all. Panini was 2000 BC. In India, everything worthwhile is only BC. 2000 BC, Panini analyzes a natural language using meta-language. I have a student here who studied with me for 3 years. He studied Panini. He is a software guy. You know, software guy means you know what. And you can ask him what this Panini is. It's impossible, it's mind-boggling. Even to think. With all the computers you can't think. The whole structure. Amazing structure. A meta-language is used. And then analyzes the natural language. And that too a classical language. And then there are books, BC books, Vakyapadiyam of Bhartrihari, and a few others. All of them analyze the language so well. And in their analysis, they have words, different words they bring. When they analyze, then you have more words. For a given topic, because there are different shades of meaning. When you discuss with another person, there is a dialogue. And both the persons are discussing, exploring a topic. And both are committed to find out what is the truth of this, whatever is the issue. And both are equals. And when both are equals, both are committed to find out what the truth is. That discussion is a worthwhile discussion. And that is called Vada. There is another discussion where there is more heat than light. And this is what we call Jalpa. This is also Vada. There is discussion. And the discussion is called Jalpam because the other person knows what is already truth. This person also knows what is already truth. Truth means belief, some belief he has got. Two fanatics. Both of them have non-verifiable beliefs. One fellow says, you follow me, I will take you to heaven. Heaven, we cannot prove. It's a non-verifiable belief. There is nothing wrong for you to believe. You believe that. I don't say you should not believe. But what I am saying, it is a non-verifiable belief. That there is a heaven, non-verifiable belief. That I will survive death is another non-verifiable belief. then following this fellow I will go to heaven is another non-verifiable belief. Having gone to heaven, that I will enjoy the heaven is another non-verifiable belief. And he is very sure. This is the problem. He knocks at your doors. He is so sure about this. There is another guy. He says, I am the last and the latest. He calls himself, he is the latest. There are many prophets. Of the prophets, I am the last. But then another person can say, I am the last. And he says that I am the latest. This person says I am the latest and also the last. So that other person cannot say I am the latest. You know. Muhammad Ali used to say, I am the greatest. And he was defeated in a title bout by Leon Spinks. And I don't know whether Leon Spinks thought about this or somebody taught him. I don't know. But he did give a line, very interesting line. He said, Ali is the greatest, but I am the latest. And so, anybody can say I am the latest. Any upstart can say that. I am the latest sent down by God. If anybody says, today anyone says that I am sent down by God, you send him to the special institution. In those days we didn't have institutions, I suppose. Anybody can say this. And anybody can believe that. That's not the problem. And what is the proof for this fellow to say that I am the latest? And he says, God comes to me in the dream and talks to me. I don't know why he doesn't confront this fellow during the waking hours. In fact, I had once God coming in my dream. And do you know what did he say? He said, I never come in dreams. You can think it over. So all non-verifiable beliefs. There is nothing for these people really to argue and knock at my doors and take my time, intrude upon my privacy. But they do, day in and day out. Because when you are not sure, you need some more people to feel sure, to feel sure. But a physics professor will not knock at your doors. Ask for your time so that he can discuss with you about particles and particles. You can see the difference between the preachers and the teachers. And between these two fellows, the one who says, I am the latest, the other fellow thinks that he is the last. Between them, if there is a discussion, it is called the jalpa. You can never convince that person. People come to you and say that, so we would like to help you, save yourself because the world is coming to an end. This they have been telling for the past so many thousands of years, or at least centuries. World is coming to an end, world is coming to an end. Let it come to an end, why do you bother? Let it come to an end, let us make the world today what we have got. Let it come to an end. One good thing about it is that everybody is gone. So So let it come to an end. Who bothers about that? You are not going to stop it anyway. And he wants to talk, he gives you that you will go to hell, and God will send you to hell. If you don't follow us, you will go to hell for good. It is worse than Godfather. Really, a Godfather is one who makes an offer that you cannot refuse. Correct? God the Father is no better. He makes an offer that I cannot refuse. Concepts. And he wants me to believe this and wants me to follow it. One fellow, one Indian was asked, this was very interesting, he told me the other day. Somebody came to him and then talked to him about this and that you have to, if you want to avoid hell and hellfire, then you have to follow me, this and that he was talking. And he asked him straight a question. Where do you think Mahatma Gandhi would be? Because this fellow is a Gandhi devotee. And Gandhi was a clean man of peace, man who loved peace, man who tried to accomplish ends through methods that are peaceful. Committed to non-violence, a highly saintly person, and therefore he asked him a question. So where would this Gandhi would be? He cannot say he will be in heaven. If he is in heaven, then I follow Gandhi, I will be in heaven. So you need not come to my house. He can't say that. Gandhi died a Hindu. And therefore you can't say, he said Ram at the end also. Hey Ram. And therefore he won't go to heaven. Then he said he would be in hell. That's what he said, he would be in hell. Then this fellow said, I would like to be with Gandhi's. That's the answer. I'm just giving you so that you can answer these people this way. This is that discussion between them is not going to help anybody. Each one wants to pull the fellow to his side. The other fellow. So any discussion produces only heat. We are told that Devata, the presiding deity of the organ of speech, is the Lord Fire, Agni Devata. Agni has got two qualities. One is the heat, the other is light. Therefore, when you talk, either you can throw some light or you can produce heat. Agni is the Devata, Vak Devata. So this is called a Jalpa, which is of no use. In this nobody learns anything. And there is one more discussion, which is what we call Vidandam. Vidanda means anything you say is wrong. It need not be, well, that fellow may not have any commitment to what he is going to say. But you said it, therefore it is wrong. There are people like that. You make a statement, he raises his hand. Because anything you say is wrong. What is the reason? Because you said it. This is called Vidanda. What is the Bhagavad Gita? Is it Vidanda? Is it Jalpa? Or it is Vada? It is not even Vada, it is Samvadaha. It is a dialogue between a teacher who knows and the student who wants to know. See the difference? The teacher who knows and the subject, we are given subject matter. Here is the subject matter, is what I said, yoga and Brahma Vidya. It is a known subject matter to the teacher, and the student wants to have that knowledge. When there is a dialogue between a student and a well-informed teacher, when the subject matter, understand, teacher means there is a subject matter to be understood, not to be believed. There are certain beliefs also, and they are understood as beliefs. There is also understanding. They are understood as beliefs. If you understand a belief as a belief, you are safe, I tell you. Your whole approach will be different. Your attitudes will be different. A belief has got to be understood as a belief. And where you have to understand, you can't say I believe. You have to understand. Pending understanding, you may have trust in the sentence, in the words. But the matter is for understanding. The elementary school teacher says to this young student, "Hey, this 5 plus 4 is 9. And the fellow says, "My mom told me to believe you. So I believe you." It is not a matter for belief. I believe, sir. I believe you, sir. 5 plus 4, 9. You say, sir. I believe, sir. You can't say that. It's a matter to be understood. In the Bhagavad Gita, the subject matter is for understanding all the way, including God. We always say God is to be believed. We always hear this all over the world. You should believe in God. In the Gita you will see, we will see now, God is to be understood. It is not a matter for belief. Understand? It's entirely different thing it is. That's why there is a teacher. Otherwise, there is only a preacher. The preacher is one who has to tell you what all things you have to believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he should keep quiet afterwards. But a teacher is one who has a subject matter to make you see, your vision to share with you. And naturally, therefore, if you have some impediment, intellectual or due to certain emotional situation, whatever, emotional situation because you are already committed to something, you have nursed an idea for a long time, you have lived with that idea for too long a time, you have got some guru of your own and he has told you something and therefore it is a problem, it's an emotional problem. People are highly charismatic. Because he said it, therefore it should be true. That's not learning. It has got to be true, and if he said it, we thank him. If it is not true, no matter who said it, it is wrong. Wrong is wrong. That is what our teaching is about. That's how we were all brought up. And therefore the commitment is to see what it is all about. And therefore absolutely dispassionate. There is no intimidation, there is no threatening here. Because we are going to see what it is all about. At least that's the promise. In the world there are different people. There are people who say the human suffering, the human problems have no solution whatsoever. Make hay when the sun shines, an agricultural statement. Buy things when there is sale, okay? when things are on sale, okay? Buy things when there are coupons. So make hay when the sun shines. The most selfish is the most happy. An existentialist approach. In a competitive society, that's exactly what you will have. In the society of only three people. For every individual, there are only three people. One is, of course, this person. That is I. The second person is me. The third person is myself. And in a society where there is so much competition, it begins to have only people for whom I, me, myself form the nuclear society. And naturally, when there is so much competition here in the society, hardly there is any time for really serious inquiry. Now in the Gita here, the samvada, let us look into this, the samvada, the dialogue that took place between a teacher and a student. Implied two people. One is Krishna, the other is Arjuna. Let me tell you in the beginning itself who is Krishna and who is Arjuna, okay? At the end of it, you have a doubt who is Krishna, who is Arjuna. Like the fellow who listened to Ramayanam for 7 days. He asked at the end of it, he was the only one who was very regular and sat in front. This Ramayan Katha chalta tha. And then afterwards, after these 7 days, this fellow, everybody went away. He was the one who was left behind, and he was hanging around there. And then he asked Panditji, can I ask a question? He asked, yes, anything you want. Because he was the one, like Hanuman, he was sitting there daily. And so he said, sure. Panditji, when you talked, these 7 days, it was all wonderful. Those talks were wonderful. You used some words, some names. You said Rama. Evidently, it is the name of a person. Ravana is another name of a person. Then you also use the word Rakshasa. I am, ye prashna ye hai. The doubt is this, whether Rama is Rakshasa or Ravana is Rakshasa. And Panditji said, neither Rama was Rakshasa nor Ravana was Rakshasa, I am Rakshasa. To talk to you all these days. Therefore, in the beginning itself, I want to avoid such questions. I would like to make clear, Krishna is the teacher. He is looked upon by Vyasa as the Lord incarnate. Vyasa was qualified enough to tell whatever he was telling there in terms of yoga and Brahma Vidya. But he presents Krishna only as Bhagavan. And therefore here the talk is as though it is coming from Bhagavan or it is coming from Bhagavan. It doesn't make any difference really. If you understand what Ishvara is, Krishna can be easily Bhagavan. We will discover that Krishna later. When I say we will discover, we cover that, okay? So it's not that We will simply say we will discover, and then after 6 days are over. No, we will discover. Then you will understand what that Krishna is, what that God is, what that Lord is. It will become clear. Therefore, Krishna is the teacher here. Vyasa in his Mahabharata presents him as a teacher, and Arjuna is the student. And Arjuna wants to know. The situation was a very peculiar situation. Really not a very ideal situation for learning this kind of vidya. Here we are sitting in a room, quiet, air conditioned, soundproof, and you are listening. We are better off. Arjuna was in a battlefield of Kurukshetra. It's a place of dust. With all the elephants walking, horses walking, and the infantry walking, it is nothing but dust. And the clamor, the clank of all armors, and the bugles and conches, etc., and drums. It was all one big noise. The greatest miracle, I say, is that Arjuna could hear and then make some sensible questions also, ask some sensible questions. And Krishna had all the composure to teach him. Itself is a great thing. What type of mind Arjuna had? What type of mind Krishna had? Amazing that they could shut all this and just expose themselves to what is on. Amazing composure. That's what Gita gives you. It gives you that leisure. A leisure which can help you have a sense of humor. Our problem is we have no sense of humor. I cannot create a sense of humor. I can't ask you, you must have a sense of humor. We all should have a sense of humor. This is silly. Either you have it or you don't have it. You can have it if you have the basis for it. If you have the attitudes for that. I was walking in a zoo in Milwaukee. And my host was telling Swamiji, you should go to the zoo. Our zoo is very good zoo. I said, okay, we'll go. I don't have a zoo dress, understand? I have got the same thing. Wherever I go, Timbuktu, this is the dress I have. I don't have anything else. In fact, I don't have anything. Once when I came to New York, not first time, a few times I had come and then this woman, I think a new customs person, and then asked me, open your box, open your suitcase. I opened the suitcase. And she saw layers of these clothes. She didn't say anything else. Then she told me, oh, you like orange. What can I say? Can I say I like orange? I have got all of that. Even if you like orange, you are not going to have like this. Or I am going to say I dislike orange. You know, when such questions are asked, when you don't have time, nor you have the confidence that you can convince that person, then what do? You smile and just pass. There is a special smile for this kind of question. And I have practiced and keep that smile ready. Well, with these clothes, I am walking in this zoo, seeing all these various strange animals. A couple was walking slowly, and then we passed this couple. This young man tells this woman, I could hear this, my host could hear this. Hey, look at this one, look at this one. I am walking in a zoo where strange animals are there. You must understand the whole implication. And here is something strange. That's why he said, hey, look at this one, look at this one. My host was angry. I don't know, he may pounce upon that guy. Then before anything happened, I looked at him, I looked back and said, yes sir, I can talk to. That is what Gita does to you, I tell you. That is pure Gita, nothing else. You take a joke as a joke. Make it worse, okay? Now he has to find another joke to impress another woman. This one is gone. That leisure Arjuna had, having lived a life of dharma, already he was someone who had gained the phalam of yoga. His life was not wasted. Lived a meaningful life. A life of alertness and a life of attitudes. And if Arjuna had lacked anything, and that was all filled up by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. But he had leisure enough to listen to the Gita, the teaching. The teaching is called Gita. And Krishna is the teacher. The place is a battlefield. Arjuna faces a problem that was created by the greed of somebody, not unknown somebody, his own cousin, his own uncle, really speaking, Dhritarashtra. Gita begins with Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kim akurvata sanjaya. Arjuna's father Pandu was the one who adorned the throne, and he died. Now Dhritarashtra is there, the king now. He was blind, and his wife also, Gandhari, she blindfolded herself. This was a strange woman. She should have become the eyes of Dhritarashtra. But then she thought, what my husband doesn't see, what he doesn't have, I won't have. Maybe there is some value there, something is being taught there. But definitely it was a wrong thing to do, because children of blind parents would be Duryodhana, Duchasana. These are the fellows. The parents have to look into the eyes of the children. When the children accomplish something, the parents have to look into the eyes. Modern psychologists would say the Mahabharata has so much to offer in terms of psychology. Honestly, it's a gold mine for psychologists to do really research. The mother, if she at least had looked at the Duryodhana, Duryodhana won't behave as he behaved. of them, the entire brood, all of them were vying with each other in transgressing the lines of dharma. That means, so they had their own psychological problem. The unconscious was very heavy. Put it in our terms. Well, and out of sheer greed, Duryodhana usurped the kingdom of Dharmaputra also and sent them to the forest on a condition that he will give back the kingdom when they return. And they have to live 1 year incognito. They serve the term. They come back claiming the kingdom. Duryodhana had enjoyed power, and a power which was unrivaled, absolute power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's what happened to Duryodhana. And naturally, he rejected any kind of plea for a bargain. He won't give half the kingdom, even though full kingdom was to be ruled by the Dharmaputra by right. Half the kingdom he won't give. A state with 5 districts he won't give. A district with five, we say in India, 5 taluks, counties, he won't give. A county with 5 villages, towns, he won't give. A village with 5 houses at least, he won't give. A house with 5 rooms, he won't give. Nothing he would give. He said, let them go back to the forest or let them meet me at the battlefield. Now it is no more a question of gaining the kingdom. Understand here. So it is a question of dharma and adharma. It is a clash between what is justice and injustice. Right and wrong clash it is. And this clash brought the people there to Kurukshetra. Krishna is with Arjuna and he is driving the chariot for Arjuna, Krishna. On request, I don't want to go into all the details. And Arjuna, of course, was waiting for this day. He orders Arjuna, Krishna, to place the chariot from where he could see all of them. And he places the chariot in a vantage place. Arjuna saw and completely sank. For the people whom he had to fight against were his own teachers like Bhishma and Kripa, Drona and Kripa. The eldest in the family, the most admired and respected person, Bhishma, the invincible, he is there. And when he saw all of them, some of his classmates, they are all there, uncles and cousins, acquaintances and friends. When he found them all there, and here also, these are the people who are going to die in the battlefield. At the death of all this destruction, the death of all these people who count in Arjuna's life, what kind of victory it would be. Arjuna's thinking was not without a basis. He thought that war never really is won by anybody. And the warring people, both of them, both the sides are going to lose. They are the losers. So it is not going to really help. That's exactly Arjuna's thinking, and there is a basis for it. But at the same time, Arjuna is supposed to uphold justice. He is the protector of Dharma. He is not just an unknown soldier who was recruited in a crash program of recruitment and training. So he was the one who is supposed to protect Dharma. The protector of Dharma is supposed to act, is not supposed to talk like this. And therefore, there was a hesitation on the part of Arjuna. But the emotions are all real. And he is compassionate, he is sympathetic. He is thinking of the consequences. Doesn't see any kind of gain in this, and therefore he says in so many words, Nakamkshe Vijayam Krishna, Nacha Rajyam Sukhaniche, Kinno Rajyena Govinda, Kim Bhogehi Jivitenava. I don't desire a kingdom anymore. And if the kingdom is not there, victory has no meaning. I am not interested in victory. First he says, I am not interested in victory. If you don't have victory, then you will have no kingdom. Yes, I am not interested in kingdom. If you have no kingdom, you will have no comforts. I don't need any comfort anymore. Nakamkshe Vijayam Krishna, Nacha Rajyam, Na Sukhanicha. Sukha is comfort here. I don't need all the royal comforts. I have lived so many years in the forest, I can continue to live. It's not a problem for me anymore. In fact, he says, Kimno Rajyena Govinda, Kim Bhogehi Jivitenava. What is going to be achieved by us, by a kingdom, etc., when all these people, in whose company I would be happy, in whose death I would be unhappy, they are the people I have to fight against. And therefore, Visrijya Sasaram Shapam Shoka Samdigna Manasaha. Arjuna really overpowered by this compassion, and which is coupled with sadness, sat there giving up his bow and arrows in the chariot. Did not jump off the chariot and go to Rishikesh, because from Kurukshetra, Paidal mein ja sakta hai Rishikesh. It's not far away. But then he didn't choose to do that far. He knew that there is something wrong in the whole thing. The call of duty and the affections one has got, they are in great conflict here. Therefore, Arjuna has to have a bigger picture in order to solve this problem. The picture of your life and the world view that you have got, the life view and the world view that you have got has caused problems for a person, and that person is not going to solve that problem. Having the same picture, because the very picture has created problem for you, and you are not going to solve the problem without changing the picture. And when you can change the picture, and the change in the picture has got to be bigger than this picture. And it has to be true also, understand. It is not some kind of blind belief of something. You must have a better picture, a higher picture, a picture which includes everything. And in fact, a correct picture, a true picture of what is what, alone will make these problems all insignificant. And you can do what is to be done happily. And for which you require to have this big picture. Arjuna knew this, that there is no way of solving this problem. And because he was brought up in a culture where this knowledge was not something that was unknown, it was not something that he was unfamiliar with, and he grew up among the people who knew this. Vyasa was a is a household name. He was a visitor to the palace, and Shuka and others, and he also lived in the forest for 12 years. He had met Mahatmas, he had met Markandeya, as the story goes. So the person knows exactly what is what. At the same time, didn't have that mental time. He had a veil of time. When he was in the forest, he would have asked for this knowledge. Krishna was around for a long time. He would have asked for this knowledge. Then he did not think about it because he was thinking about Duryodhana all the time. Now when he is looking at the whole thing, the problem is different now. He knows that there is no way of solving these problems unless he gets a clearer vision of what is what. Therefore Arjuna becomes a student to Lord Krishna first time. Till then he was a friend, a revered friend. He was a friend, philosopher and guide, but never a teacher. This is the time when he says, Sishyasteham Shadhimam Swam Prapannam. I am your Shishya now. Therefore, please bless me, please teach me. What is that absolute good? What is that vision which will give that absolute good to person? Absolute good means good to me, good to you, good to everybody. At any time, at any place. It has nothing to do with culture, nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with age. But something that is perennially true, always true. That is called the Shreyas, the absolute good. And please teach me that. He knows that it is we gave in terms of a picture, a vision. It is a teaching, it is understanding. Therefore Arjuna became a disciple to Lord Krishna. And it looks from the Gita itself that Krishna was waiting for this day. He can as well say, come on, get up and fight. We will discuss about this later. He could as well say. He did say that. He did say, before he said, I am your Shishya, please teach me, he did say, Kutastva Kashmalamidam, Vishame Samupastitam, Anarya Juhtam, Aswargyam, Akirtikaram Arjuna, Klaibya Masmagamah Partha, Naitatva Yupapratyate, Kshudaram, Hridaya Daurbalyam, Tikto, Tishta Parantapa. He simply just lashed his tongue. He spared the whip for the horses. He whipped him. He whipped him, said, what are you doing here? You are talking in a decibel I never heard. What is this? Are you a man or a woman? Woman also knows how to fight. Man also fights. But I don't know who you are. And what is it that you are talking about? Kutastva Kashmalamidam. If I had knowledge of Arjuna, this is not the one that I never expected. From where did he get this weakness? This is not befitting you. This doesn't behave you at all. Arjuna, and therefore this is Kshudaram Hridaya Daurbalyam. You know Durbalata? Daurbalyam. This weakness of heart, chicken heart. Please give up. Uttishta Parantapa. Get up and fight. You have got all the titles, remember. That was the original statement. He would have repeated the statement again. He didn't repeat. It looks as though Krishna was waiting for the moment. Thank God. And therefore we have the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna walked in Yamuna. It's not a great deal. Everybody has to walk somewhere. Krishna dance is not a great deal in these days. Our whole life is a dance anyway. And therefore it's not a great deal. Krishna played flute is not a great deal. Krishna stole butter is not a great deal. All these are stories which are very helpful to understand Krishna, even though he was like one of us, but he had such a great vision, which you see in the Bhagavad Gita. Or Krishna performed miracles also is not a great thing. Krishna lifted a giri in his hand with a finger, lifted a hill. It is not a great thing. In fact, it is the wrong thing to do. When the rains came down, and then it was too much rain, it is a wrong thing to just lift a hill and ask them to be under. In fact, what you should do is stop the rains, okay? You should have stopped the rains. He should have stopped the rains. And instead of stopping the rains, he lifted a hill and then asked them to go over to the Giridhari. Then he asked them to stand under. Will you stand under a hill? Even though Krishna is lifting, I tell you. So, will you stand under that hill with any kind of peace inside? Under the hill you are standing. Anytime it can come down. And therefore, it's not any big thing. But I tell you, if you had stopped the clouds, if you had stopped the rains, you won't think that it was stopped by Krishna. But this one, you have to accept he is somebody. That is why he lifted. He knew why he did that. If they stop the, they would think that it's all naturally stopped, not Krishna. They will go and tell Krishna, oh, at the right time it stopped, rain stopped. They will tell him, he stopped it. But this one, they can't say anything. All these miracles everywhere you can talk about, these are all nothing, I tell you. These do not really make you any better. Somebody is great doesn't make you better. Please understand, we are a hero worshippers. Somebody is better means what? Whether you can be that person, that's all what that person can be a model for me. If he is a model, then I have to fashion myself to that. I have to grow myself into that person. And therefore, Krishna's greatness is that vision that he unfolded to Arjuna. Therefore, it is with us. Now, I can talk to you. We can enjoy Krishna. Krishna is with everyone. You have to discover that Krishna. That's what he teaches. Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishta. I am there in everybody's heart. You have to discover. The whole life should be to discover. In fact, it is like a sculptor sculpting Krishna. Suppose a sculptor picked up a stone, a wayside stone, a monolithic stone lying there. A friend of this person, this sculptor, happened to be with him. When he saw this stone, he was ecstatic seeing the stone. And he said, please help me, we will take this stone. So then he brought a truck or whatever, then they took the stone to the studio. And this man, his friend, went away to his home, miles away. Then he comes back after 4 months to meet him again. He walks into the studio, stands there a Krishna, and his friend is a great Bhakta, Krishna Bhakta, a devotee of Krishna. And he saw Krishna there, and then he saw Krishna, wow, what a great thing it is. So who made this? Where did he get this from? Who made this? Then he was looking for the sculptor, his friend. He was standing there in the corner still, looking at Krishna from different angles. Still he has got a fine chisel in his hand and a hammer. And he asked him, hey, from where did you get this? He said, do you know, you brought this the other day. You helped me bring this the other day. And I didn't bring this. No, last time when you came here 4 months ago? Yes. Did you not bring this? No, I helped you get a stone here. That is what. In fact, you brought this alone. When I saw that stone, I stood there and watched and amazed at the stone because I saw Krishna in that stone. You saw stone. And my job is now, I bring that vision of Krishna out by chipping off those portions of stone which cover Krishna. To the naked eyes, that Krishna will be seen by you. For me, Krishna is already seen. It is there very much. And it is that which I am bringing out. Even now with this small chisel, the nose of my Krishna inside is slightly different from the nose that is here. That's why I am working on it. I am not shaping Krishna. I am unfolding Krishna. Look at the difference. This is what whole Gita is. Everyone is Krishna. You have to unfold that Krishna. Then you become the flute and the whole life becomes music. We will see this. Even though 5 days we have got, we can see this, I tell you. We will see. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much.